Hare Krishna, good morning and welcome all of you all for the Sunday morning class. So, we're trying to start our Bhagavad Gita verse by verse understanding and reading the Bhagavad Gita also and understanding it in depth from next Sunday. So, this Sunday we will be understanding a few more basic concepts before we approach to the actual Bhagavad Gita recitation. Of course, this is also from the Bhagavad Gita only, but here we are just trying to get the prelude of it. So, welcoming all of you all. Let's start our class with our Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunvitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are going to discuss some basic concepts. But first question I would like to ask you all, I'd like to start the class with a question. What's the difference between a devotee and a karmi? Or what understanding makes us different from a devotee? I mean, a non-devotee and devotee. How will you differentiate between these two? Yes, all are welcome to answer. Yes.
Prabhuji Karmi is a person who is doing his activities to get fruits for himself or his family or a social welfare or anything. So he is categorized as Karmi. But the same activity, if the fruits are submitted to the Lord, surrendered to the Lord, then he becomes a devotee.
Perfect. Very good. Perfect answer. Very simple language कहना है भगवान से मांगना है और भगवान को मांगना है. अक्सर हम लोग भगवान से मांगते रहते हैं. भगवान से मांगना मतलब वी आर आस्किंग फ्रॉम गॉड सम पर्सनल बेनिफिट्स. गाड़ी दे दे, बंगला दे दे, ये दे दे, वो दे दे. गाना है ना, मुझको भी तो लिफ्ट करा दे, ऐसे वैसे को दिया है. तो बस सबको अपने को लिफ्ट कराते कराते एक दिन भगवान बोलते आज अभी ऊपर आ ही जा, लिफ्ट करा ही लेता हूँ तुझे. दैट्स द फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ what do you say, non-devotee only keeps on asking from God but never asks for God. But you think, is this a loss bargain or a profit bargain? Yes, who would like to answer this question? Is it a loss bargain or a profit bargain? If it is loss, why? If it is a profit, why?
Prabhuji, loss bargain means asking from God or asking God?
Asking God bola to abhi if you want to be a devotee and you want to ask God, ask for God, not ask from God. Ask for God.
So what ask from God is I have to explain, or ask for God I have to
ask
explain?
For God. Is it right? If it is right, why? If it is wrong, why?
It's right, it's perfect.
Perfect. नुकसान है उसमें?
कोई नुकसान नहीं है.
कोई नुकसान नहीं. कैसे?
If we ask God, then we are asking something which is eternal. Rest everything we ask for is temporary. Everything, be it any relation, be it money, be it whatever. So we are running after something that is eternal. Above that, we are running after something who has created us, who is our actual everything provided to us also is by him. So it's better we go back to him.
ठीक है. Anybody would like to add some more?
प्रभु जी, हम भगवान को अपना पिता मानते हैं.
Hmm.
तो ए फादर विल ऑलवेज टेक केयर ऑफ हिज चाइल्ड. सो बाकी कुछ मांगने की जरूरत ही नहीं है फिर.
से अगर आप आपके पिता का सेवा करते हो, दो तरीके से सेवा कर सकते हो. एक, पिताजी आपके पास 5 करोड़ रुपए है, आप मुझे दे देना, आपके 5 करोड़ मुझे दे देना, इसके लिए आपके पैर दबा रहा हूं. और एक, सिर्फ आपको सेवा करना है क्योंकि आपके पिताजी हैं. इट्स योर ड्यूटी एंड इट्स योर इट शुड बी प्लेजरेबल फॉर यू टू डू सर्विस टू योर elder. And in the end, one day or the other, the day will come when the father has to pass away. And if he's a sensible person, I mean, star conditions apply, wo baat alag ho gayi. But if he's a sensible condition, anyhow he cannot take money up with him. It is going to go to the son or sons, as the case may. So the bottom line is, why do service to the Lord conditionally when in any way you're going to reap the benefits of it? When you're anyway you're going to reap the benefits of it, then why you want to do service for that person? नहीं, अगर आपको कुछ लाभ के लिए कर रहे हो, स्पेसिफिकली करते हो, दिस इज व्हाट डिफर्स फ्रॉम अ डिवोटी टू अ नॉन डिवोटी. एंड नॉन डिवोटी विल डू सर्विस मेरा क्या, इसमें मेरा फायदा क्या. और वो जो दूसरा बंदा जो है वो इसके लिए करता है क्योंकि ही सेज मुझे फायदा नुकसान नहीं देखना है, मुझे सिर्फ भक्ति करना है. आई जस्ट वांट टू डू सेवा ऑफ द लॉर्ड एंड इट शुड बी अहेतु की, विदाउट एनी हेतु. कोई उसमें पीछे कुछ परफेक्ट बना पर्पस बिहाइंड इट और सम पर्सनल अल्टरनेट मोटिव्स शुड नॉट बी देयर. बस मुझे भगवान का सेवा करना है, दैट्स इट. So that's the difference between a devotee and a saint. So that's what we all are going to become by learning to Bhagavad Gita. By learning Bhagavad Gita, so that is what we are going to learn, this whole process, what Bhagavad Gita teaches. First and foremost, it teaches us how to do the action. Now, you first mentioned, Vishal Prabhu, that हम काम करते हैं और उसका फल हम भगवान को दे देते हैं. तो इस प्रोसेस को क्या कहते हैं? व्हाट डू वी कॉल दिस प्रोसेस? एंड कैसा फल, कैसे फल, किस तरह का फल का बात कर रहे हो? Others can also participate, but first the question goes to Vishal Prabhu, and then the rest of you keep your answers ready. Yeah. रीटा किशोर माता जी, बार बार आपका अनम्यूट हो रहा है, प्लीज जरा म्यूट करके रखिएगा. बोलिए.
प्रभु जी, जैसे हम कोई चीज के लिए बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास करते हैं और फिर भी समटाइम्स इट हैपेंस दैट कि हम उसमें सक्सेस नहीं पाते हैं या पाते हैं. सक्सेस पाते हैं तो हमको लगता है कि ये
that's a separate part. I'm not discussing on the success or you're successful, not successful. My question here is offering the fruits. Now suppose you commit a crime, you cheat someone or you do something. Lord, I'm offering the fruits of that also to you. So how does one understand? This concept is a vague, I mean, to make it more precise, not keep it vague in a vague way, but to make it more precise or more confined, I want to understand is, आप कैसे करोगे इसको? कोई कल खूनी भी बोल सकता है, मैंने खून किया 100 करोड़ लेने के लिए और उसमें से मैंने 5 करोड़ 10 करोड़ भगवान को दे दिए, या मैं रॉबिन हुड हूं, पूरे 100 करोड़ मैंने भगवान को दे दिया. That's what the Robin Hood concept works actually, right? So how do we understand this?
प्रभु जी, बेसिक चीज तो शास्त्र के हिसाब से हमको लाइफ तो पहले वो जीना पड़ेगा. बेसिक चीज तो वो है.
Yes.
फिर उसके बाद में सेकंड स्टेज आता है कि
yes, you have to unmute yourself.
righteous activities is to only become a man. एज यू हैव ऑलवेज एडवाइज्ड कि राइटियस एक्टिविटीज जो है वो हम सिर्फ मानव जीवन एक मनुष्य बनने के लिए कर रहे हैं, 4 प्रिंसिपल्स, दैट डज नॉट बिकम मेक अस डिवोटीज।
Right.
उसके बाद सेकंड स्टेज पे हम थर्ड स्टेज पे जाएंगे तब
So
जाके
Karma Yoga has got 2 more higher stages. That is what I want you to understand here.
yeah, yes,
All of you all, please open Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, verse number 12. Got it? All of you all got it? 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, verse number 12. जिनके पास भगवद गीता है, भगवद गीता खोलिए। जिनके पास नहीं है, अपने मोबाइल के इसमें देख लीजिए। Priya, you think you will be able to screen share it by any chance? Mataji? Will it be possible to you? Okay, till then, I hope most of you all must have got the verse with you all ready.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha त्रिविधम कर्म फलम भवत्या अत्यागिनाम प्रयता ना तु संन्यासनम क्वचित। वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्स। इसमें आप लोगों को अगर सन्यासी बनना है और सन्यासी में और आम व्यक्ति में क्या अंतर है, इससे पता चलता है फ्रॉम दिस वर्स। लेट अस रीड। विशाल ब्रो, प्लीज रीड द ट्रांसलेशन। Unmute yourself. Yeah. So, Vishal Bro, unmute yourself and read the translation.
For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy.
Very important message which Lord is giving in this verse. Lord is clearly telling, Anishtam, Ishtam, Misram cha. Anishtam. What is the meaning of Anishtam? That is, no, Priya, you can close the screen sharing. Yeah. Anishtam, what is the meaning of Anishtam over here? Leading to hell, or जिसकी आपको इच्छा नहीं थी, but you are getting that phala. Ishtam, ishtam मतलब जो आपकी इच्छा थी, whatever you desired, you are getting that phala. And misram, misram means mixed. थोड़ा अच्छा, थोड़ा बुरा. Life, I have already explained in the law of karma. When I was explaining, I have already explained to you all. Suppose you are in the signal and you give 10 rupees to a beggar, and that beggar goes and buys a cigarette and he smokes. You have to take a part of the sin of his taking the wrong activity. Had you not given him that money, he would have not taken it for drugs or smoking. So somewhere or the other, you are a part of this activity, what he has done by your activity. So for reason, that is why it says karanam cha. So what does this mean? Ishtam. It may, an action may lead to auspicious, inauspicious, or it may be mixed. All तीनों हो सकता है. But कारणम फलम भवत्या अत्यागिनाम, जो इन फल को त्यागता नहीं है, one who doesn't give up these fruits, atyaginam. So what happens to such a person? Whereas aprayaginam, after death, he has to carry. See, if you want to carry that thing with you, the results with you, then you have to face the consequences of it. You should be ready to face the consequences of it. भले आप बोलेंगे प्रभु जी मेरे को सिर्फ अच्छों का चाहिए, मेरे बुरे कर्मों का नहीं चाहिए, that's not possible. The package is either fully you have to take, or you have to leave it fully. You cannot take partially and leave partially. So that is why it is said preta. Pretya means one at the time of death, either you take all this, or what makes you a sannyasi? Being in this material world, being a householder, you can still be a sannyasi. और वो कैसे हो सकते हो आप? Very simple. Just giving away the fruits. That is why the last line is saying, Natu sannyasinam kvachit. At any time, for a renounced ordered person, it doesn't make any difference for him. He is not at all attached. बाकी दोनों का activity आप देखने जाओगे तो both are same. I've already told you one story, small story, but I'll tell you again. जो लोग नए हैं उनके लिए, एक बार एक साधु ट्रेन में जा रहा था, सेकेंड क्लास एसी में बैठ के जा रहा था, और उसके पास भी दो बड़े बड़े बक्से थे. तो दो थोड़ा ट्रेन थोड़ी निकली स्टार्टिंग सोर्स से, और एक दो स्टेशन के बाद दूसरे स्टेशन पे एक और बड़ा अमीर सेठ गाड़ी में चढ़ा उसी ट्रेन. और वाह, देखा उसने, बाप रे, ये साधु के पास तो एसी में साधु घूम रहा है, ऊपर से उसके पास भी उतना ही बैगेज है जितना मेरे पास है, मेरे पास भी दो बक्से हैं, उसके पास भी दो बक्से हैं. तो साधु जोर से बोला, अपना बिजनेसमैन जोर से बोला साधु को देख के, घोर कलयुग आ गया है, घोर कलयुग आ गया आजकल. मतलब he didn't indirectly, he was indirectly hinting, we didn't went it directly. क्या आजकल कोई भी आ जाता है किसी भी जगह पे, बस अब तो कलयुग है, यहाँ पे अभी साधु और ये तो कोई रहा ही नहीं, कोई मतलब ही नहीं. So he said fine. So Sadhu also kept his mouth silent. He said, ठीक है, let me see what this person, let me teach him, but I'll teach him slowly. So गाड़ी चालू हुई, both started talking. धीरे धीरे थोड़ी देर के बाद तो एक थोड़ी दोस्ती हो गई उनके साथ. साधु ने उसको कुछ प्रसाद वसाद खिलाया, तो चलो खाने को तो मिला साधु के साथ रह के. तो थोड़ी देर के बाद एक आध दो घंटे के बाद एक स्टेशन आया, तो बोला चलो यहाँ पे तो काफी देर गाड़ी खड़ी रहेगी, चलो नीचे बाहर जाके टहल के आते हैं. तो दोनों उतरे, साधु भी उतरा और वो आदमी भी उतरा. Both got down of the train, had a stroll on the platform, then sat down on one of the bench and they were discussing. Suddenly the guard blew the horn and the train started. सेठ जी उठ के, देखो गाड़ी जा रही है, गाड़ी जा रही है. साधु बोला, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है, रेलवे स्टेशन है, गाड़ियां आती जाती रहेंगी, आप अपना बातचीत कंटिन्यू कीजिए, छोड़िए ना उस बात को. अरे अपनी गाड़ी जा रही है, जाने दो, ये गाड़ी है, दूसरी गाड़ी आएगी उसमें जाएंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. अरे व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग, और ट्रेन, मेरा अंदर सामान पड़ा है. तो क्या हो गया, मेरा भी सामान पड़ा है, गाड़ी गए थे, जाने दो, मेरी सामान भी जाएगी, तेरी आपकी सामान भी जाएगी, मेरा भी सामान जाएगा. Finally, when the train started picking up speed, they said, now you leave me, let me go and catch the train. He said, no, you will have to tell me the difference between me and you. तेरे से आप बोल रहे हो ना, दोनों में कोई अंतर ही नहीं रहा कलयुग में, तो what is the difference? So this person who was the Seth, who was trying to, sarcastically talk with the sage or the sadhu, he that time accepted. Yes, we both are carrying possessions, but the only difference is you can leave your possession at any given moment of time, whereas I am attached to my possessions. This is the moral of the story. One who is attached to his, whatever he has earned. हम लोग earn क्या कर रहे हैं? पैसा नहीं, कर्म earn कर रहे हैं, याद रखना. No one is earning money, because earned money you have to leave and go. You are actually earning to carry away some karmas along with you. And with these karmas, mind you, one may say, what is so great, Prabhu? We have to do karma. I cannot live without doing karma. True. When the Lord is confirming in the Bhagavad Gita, the earlier chapters, he already confirmed that you cannot stay even for a minute without doing karma. If I sit in one place, no, I will not do any karma. That is also a karma. That not doing a karma is also a karma. Please understand that. कुछ कर्म ना करना भी एक कर्म है. I'll sit inactive. That means by force you are sitting inactive, right? So we have to understand that in the longer run, what we actually carry with us is not anything else. No relation, no money, nothing. We are actually carrying is karmas. And that is what Lord says. And that is we are going to carry 3 types of karma. Ishtam, Anishtam, Misram. Ishtam, okay, you will be going to heaven. Anishtam, you will be going to hell. Misram. Misram means mixed. Where you will go for mixed karmas? कहाँ जाओगे आप?
But you will stay in the earth as a different body.
Mm-hmm.
You will stay in the earth only, but in like a different animal or a body.
Yes. Something more. I've explained this n number of times. Come on, let me see who remembers this.
वो dog वाला example.
हाँ, बोलो आगे.
Dog in a Mercedes.
Yes. A dog in a Mercedes is a perfect example of Misram. Misram means mixed karma reactions. अच्छे के लिए आप जाओगे स्वर्ग, बुरे के लिए जाओगे नरक. अपना जो कमाया ना, पाप कमाया है, वहां खर्चा करके आओगे. और वहां पे खर्चा करना तो बहुत अच्छा है. सिर्फ पिटाई होती है, तेल की कढ़ाई में फ्राई होंगे. जितने आप नॉनवेज खाते हो फ्राई कर करके, उतना आपको भी डाला रहेगा तेल में. मस्त तल तल के निकालेंगे. रूरू बर्ड्स आएंगे. प्रभु जी कौन देखा है वो सीन हेल? हेवन कहाँ देखा आपने? नहीं प्रभु, हेवन इज हियर इन दिस अर्थ एंजॉयिंग मजानो लाइफ. नो क्या है, व्हाट इज दैट? जूस पीवानु, कैरम रमवानु, मजानो लाइफ है. That is what people generally think. No, that's not Majano life. In that activity, you're busy earning. Every second, everyone is earning karmas. Good or bad or mixed, both. ये 3 कैटेगरी में हम हमेशा घूम रहे हैं. And third, one who is born with a mixed karma reaction, he has to enjoy at the same time suffer. Enjoy means he's born as a he's traveling in a Mercedes car and suffering because he's born as a dog. So nowadays we see Misram karma is being more easily visible because nowadays more dogs are moving in Mercedes cars. So let us go one more step ahead and try to understand one more important point. And that point is, how does this karma or action take place? How do you think someone may say, प्रभु जी हम तो कर्म करना नहीं चाहते, हो जाता है या हमसे करवाया जाता है, तो ये कैसे होता है? एक्चुअली कोई एक्शन अच्छा या बुरा कैसे होता है? How does it take place?
By our free will.
By our free will. Okay, very good. What else more? Anybody else? I want the newcomers, juniors to add on. Come on.
Prabhuji, 3 modes of nature.
3 modes of nature. Okay. Okay, Samrat Prabhu, tell me. But unmuted.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मैं 3 मोड ऑफ नेचर ही बोल रहा था.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
प्रभु जी, प्रारब्ध कर्म का फल भी भुगतना भी तो एक कर्म होगा ना?
छोड़ तो सकते हो ना, फल छोड़ने को तैयार हम नहीं है.
हाँ, वो नहीं है, इसलिए तो प्रॉब्लम है.
छोड़ तो सकते हो आप. And prarabdha karma is only and only taken at the time of initiation when one takes diksha. Okay. There are 3 karmas which all have. One is sanchit karma, agami karma, or prarabdha karma. Sanchit karma is what is already we have earned. सबके सेफ्टी डिपॉजिट वॉलेट के अंदर बहुत बहुत जमा है. पैसा नहीं, कर्मा. पैसा तो आते जाते रहेगा. हमारे दिमाग में अगर आपको आके पूछूं, प्रभु जी आपके वहां कोई मोस्ट फेमस आदमी कौन है, तो आप लोग बाय डिफॉल्ट दिखाओगे यहाँ का सबसे बड़ा अमीर आदमी. बट दैट इज नॉट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट इन द स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड. मटेरियल वर्ल्ड एवरीथिंग इज उल्टा. I've already explained to you. In spiritual world there is love. Here in material world there is lust. Where the definition of a nice person or a good person is different in the spiritual world, the definition in the material world is different. Here if a person has 5 to 7 affairs, 5 to 7 wives, बड़ा आदमी है, 5-7 बीवी रखता है, 5-7 अफेयर रखता है, that his possessive personality is considered to be great. So it's a mundane world. That's why this world is called as a mundane world. So the prarabdha karma, so your agami karma and sanchit karma, at the time of initiation, they are actually a stumbling block in your process of spiritual self-realization. So those two karmas are taken away by the spiritual master. That is why you see spiritual masters always have some major health issues or major big problems. I don't want to mention anything, but they have major problems. And the reason is because they take karmas of their students who have taken diksha. No, in today's date, really Kali Yuga, we have to run behind people. Please wear kantimala. Please take diksha. In earlier days, the student has to go and run behind the spiritual master. Please give me diksha. And he will say, nahi, chal bhag, nahi dunga. Why? Nahi dunga, bhag. And this is time and again experienced in both in Sri Sampradaya as well as in Gaudiya Sampradaya. In Gaudiya Sampradaya also, Bhakti Vinod Thakur did not initiate his son Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. He sent him to Kaur Kishodas Babaji. And what did he do? Every time he used to go, Jao, abhi diksha aane ke liye tum taiyar nahi ho. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to go, again come back. And where his spiritual master used to sit? Near the toilet, public toilet. So that because of the smell, nobody will come and trouble him. So he used to go and sit there. Finally, after being rejected n number of times, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj finally came to for Kishodas Babaji and he said, please accept me as your spiritual master or else I will commit suicide. यहाँ तो लड़की के लिए या लड़की लड़का के लिए सुसाइड करते हैं, उस जमाने में स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर के लिए सुसाइड करते हैं. क्या चेंज ऑफ टाइम आ गए. अभी कुछ अरसे में, आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ few hundred years we are talking of. We're not talking of some age of Kali Yuga and Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga. So that is the reason why they used to not make more of devotee, more of shishyas. In fact, in Ramayana also Varnan aata hai, Vashishta Muni used to never make more of devotees. He used to make very less of devotees. And whenever he used to go to a new village, he used to make few disciples over there. And after a few days, one fine night, he used to run away from that place, go to some other place. He would not like to carry his devotees along with him. That was a different level. So the point what we are getting, we should not get diverted from the topic what we are discussing. So these two karmas are being taken away by the spiritual master. So what about the prarabdha karma? Who will take that? That is placed as a check to your devotional service. Like people come and tell me, प्रभु जी आज मुझे शादी में जाना है, आज मुझे कोई फंक्शन में जाना है, घर में कोई फंक्शन है, आज क्लास नहीं आ सकता हूँ, आज मेरा तबीयत खराब है. So these are all nothing but your prarabdha karma. Either in happiness or in distress. In both cases, you will have to bunk the class or bunk Harikatha or miss your chanting, whatever the case may be. All these are basically your prarabdha karma put for test. That is only for a person who has taken initiation under a spiritual master. And for the rest, prarabdha karma is a nice chance of earning more. Dash. That you left to know. You have to fill in the blanks. So what was the question I was asking you? That
कर्मा क्यों करते हैं हम कर्म क्यों करते हैं?
How we are forced to do karmas. How are we forced to do karmas? Yes, who would like to answer? Come on. Adi Yamuna Priya Mataji. चलो आज आपके दर्शन हो गए. बताइए.
प्रभु जी, एक तो उसके कुछ फैक्टर्स हैं जैसे कि 3 मोड्स ऑफ नेचर. God,
Hmm.
Prakriti. These are the factors जिसके कारण हम कर्म करते हैं.
Nice. Okay. हाँ, समृद्ध and आदि यमुना प्रिय माता जी दोनों ने एक ही आंसर दिया, 3 modes of nature. Okay, let me ask Chandrakant Prabhu, can you please enlighten us? हेमा प्रभु आप सोच के रखना.
Prabhu, we are given an opportunity. Maybe you can use it for मतलब कर्मा का एक ऑप्शन रहता है, जिससे कि क्लास में बैठना है या अपने को दूसरा ये रहता है.
No.
So when we choose
No,
it,
no,
so
no,
our
no,
karma adds
no.
on.
You are talking of free will. Free will is not applicable here. Free will is a very secluded part. You tell me. Okay, Hemang Prabhu, you tell me.
हाँ पर हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी वो कि कई सारे जन्मों से हमारी इच्छाएं बाकी रहती है उसके हिसाब से कर.
कई सारे जन्मों के वजह से. आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ इस जन्म में कर्म क्यों हो रहे हैं.
प्रभु जी डिजायर की वजह से.
Desires. हाँ, sorry.
Desires. Okay. और कुछ. Who else can add on? Come on.
Prabhuji, every action is a karma. In that case, actually, whatever we're doing is converted to karma. Good or bad, this is a questionable thing. What is good or bad? And
Why? What's a questionable thing?
questionable means actually good or bad definition. Actually, some people are saying that if is a large population going to be benefited, there is a good karma.
What type of benefit you're talking of?
Any benefit they're getting actually, because otherwise any decision you're going to make it is going to be good or bad, because for that any decision is.
You know, I'll give you a nice misunderstanding you have. उसके लिए एक example देता हूँ मैं, so that doubt will get cleared off. Have you all heard the word of Heinrich Himmler? Anyone has heard the name Heinrich Himmler?
No.
Heinrich Himmler was Adolf Hitler's right-hand man, and he was the person who was in charge of commissioning all the concentration camps. क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं? Concentration camps, जहां पे billions and billions of Jews were tortured to death. I mean, I am sure you all must be aware of this concentration camps under Adolf Hitler. So he was a main person, and you know, he used to read the Bhagavad Gita. मालूम है आपको? वो भी भगवद गीता पढ़ता था. और उसने क्या बोला मालूम है? Adolf Hitler is Krishna, and Heinrich Himmler himself was Arjuna. He was considering himself Arjuna, and he was saying the killing of Mahabharata Yuddha, killing was justified. Similarly, killing of these Jews are also justified. So you'll consider this correct, Mr. Biswas? You'll consider this correct?
Not at all.
Mass understanding and mass killing or helping. He's saying according to him, mass killing was justified.
It's not true.
It's not true. So you have to understand that first we have to see everything from the angle of Shastra.
But in case of Prabhuji, actually, my understanding actually that any decision, any whatever you do it is good for someone, good for bad for someone. Any decision.
Why?
Any, let's say you do some good thing for someone.
Like, wait. Your son comes and asks you, Papa, give me 10 rupees. And you take out 10 rupees. And you ask, why you want 10 rupees? Well, I want to buy cigarette. Your son says, I want to buy cigarette. Now you will give 10 rupees or you give him a slap?
A slap only.
No. So can you say it is good for him, bad for you, bad for him, good for you, bad for him?
No, that is in some cases actually only for the
No. That's what we have to understand. Like the father knows what is good for the son or for the child. Similarly, Lord knows what is good for the child.
Now, in case of some certain things, in case of long run, certain the let's say love, so that in long run is giving the bad result, because actually he may be not pursuing to his career or something. That is also a bad thing. If you're loving to the thing.
What does that got to do with karma?
That is also part of karma only. Whatever action you are doing, this is a karma only. If love is also karma.
You don't know what is the meaning of karma. That's why I'm saying you have to still start. You still have to be in the basic class. Karma means what? Okay, who can explain to me what is karma? Hey, raise your hand. Come on, who can explain? Come on, who can explain? Love Singh, Ria. Okay, love Ria, ladies first. Boliye. What is karma?
Krishna को बता.
Activities done done for the next birth.
Huh?
So activities done to create your next birth.
Be a little louder.
Activities done to create your next birth.
Create or
Decide.
decide? No. Love Singh, boliye.
Yeah, Prabhuji, any activity which we perform, according to that, our next body is created. That is called karma.
Perfect answer. Mr. Biswas, this is a definition of karma given in the Bhagavad Gita.
In that case, how we can define the
An action. Huh?
In that case, how it's going to define is it good or bad?
That's what I'm saying. Telling lies is good or bad karma?
Sometimes good. In Mahabharata also there Ashwatthama Hatha Iti Gajas.
Then how do you conclude it as good karma? According to the Kauravas, it is a bad karma.
Right.
Then now how do you say it is good karma? Kaurav Duryodhan ko phone करके पूछो, बोलेगा bad karma था बोलेगा.
Right. For some it's good, some it's bad.
For some it is good, for some it is not bad. For in general, there is only one law. Suppose you take your car or scooter and enter into a no entry road. Huh? And the Havaldar catches you. And you say, sir, मेरे को 2 मिनट का रास्ता के लिए मैं 4 किलोमीटर घूम के क्यों जाऊं? So what? Who decides this karma was right or wrong? There is the law, right? लॉ को आप नहीं बोल सकते हो मेरे हिसाब से यार 2 बिल्डिंग के लिए मैं क्यों नो एंट्री में नहीं घुसूं, मैं पूरा घूम के क्यों जाऊं, सीधा घुस जाता हूं ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता? There is a law. That is what we call as law of karma. That decides whether this action is right or wrong, whether it's justified or not. Neither I decide, neither you decide, no one decides. And what is that? What is the law? What is the dharma? What is dharma? Is decided by whom? Dharma tu sakshat bhagavat pranita. What Lord has said, that is dharma. It's like what I feel, what you feel. It doesn't make any difference. ऐसा रहेगा तो फिर Krishna has to sit and listen to Duryodhana. What do you feel? मैं झूठ बोलना चाहिए. दुर्योधन बोलेगा नहीं, झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. अश्वत्थामा को मारना नहीं चाहिए. बराबर. अगर ओपिनियन अगर सबका ले हैं तो किसका ओपिनियन लेके आप खड़े रहोगे आप उधर युद्ध भूमि में? You have to take what is the law. I always say, when there is a traffic jam, one side of the road is totally jammed, the police wala goes from the other side of the road. हमको क्या लगता है? अरे he is breaking the law. You'll call that he is breaking the law? He breaks the law, but he goes ahead to make the law correct. If he doesn't go ahead, how will remove the traffic jam and how will the traffic become more normal? So we have to understand this is all mentioned in Bhagavatam. See, you'll have to mature. It's not your mistake, Mr. Vishwas. You have not attended the earlier lectures. That's why you're not having this understanding. I take specific lectures for the law of karma.
Right.
That gives you complete understanding of which action is good, which action is bad, which action is right, which action is wrong. So it's a very extensive detail, and we take a couple of lectures on that. So don't worry, when you will be taking that, when you will, in a couple of lectures, you'll understand.
Right.
So killing is justified, but killing and eating is not justified. That's also wrong, right? Killing is justified. If a soldier in the border kills 10 Pakistani soldiers, what you will give him? Medal, no? But if he comes and does the same act of killing, but he kills his neighbor, गांव में आके गुस्सा हो गया, उसने अपना जमीन चोरी करने की कोशिश की और उसने अपने नेबर को मार दिया खेत पे, तो अभी उसको क्या मिलेगा? मेडल. वही गन से चलाया उसने. But how will you define action as which is good and which is bad? The law decides, right? There he killed 10 Pakistani soldiers. He got medal. Here he killed one person, but then he has to go behind bars. He has to go in jail. Barabar, Mr. Vishwas, am I making sense or not?
Definitely, it's right.
So you have to understand the law of karma is very intricate. That's why it is said गहन कर्म गतिम, कर्म का गति बहुत गहन है और उसके लिए कई सारी कहानियां हैं, बाद में कभी डिस्कस करेंगे. Okay. Yes. So everyone has given one view of this and this. Okay. But there are, for Lord says, for every action, there are 5 reasons. And what are these 5 reasons? Please go to 18th chapter, verse number 14. We read verse number 12. Please go to verse number 14. Who will read verse number 14? Who has got Bhagavad Gita with him? Last verse was read by Vishal Prabhu. Today who will read? Now which verse? Who will read? Yes, Riya. Okay, Riya read. Chalo.
The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
Very important point. Anita Garba Mataji, please get this very clear. There is no 3 modes of nature. The place of action. How is this place of action? For example, you want to drink. Can you go to a temple and drink? Will you go to and sit in a temple and drink? So the place of action induces you to do the work. Yeah. The place of action. Here, we can take the area also. We can take the body also. The body is also called as Kshetra. Then, in fact, Arjuna asked this question: what is the difference between Kshetra, Kshetragya, and Jnanam and Geyam? All these are defined very nicely in the Bhagavad Gita. That we'll understand when we go verse by verse. So here it clearly says the place of action, the performer, Karta. That is Adhishtanam Tatha Karta. Karanam cha Prathaka Vidam. The various senses. The desire for the senses to be fulfilled. Then the various kind of endeavors. Vividascha Pathaka Chetasaha. Vividas. Various kinds of endeavors are done to fulfill that desire. So the body is there, the doer is there, the what do you say? Senses are wanting it, and then you put endeavor to complete these activities. And last but not the least, Daivam cha atra panchamam. Daiva means God himself approves it. Simple example. कितने लोग मच्छर से परेशान होके मारते हो मच्छर को? एवरी टाइम सक्सेसफुल होते हो? एवरी टाइम सक्सेसफुल होता है? तो इतना छोटा मच्छर तो है, भाग जाता है ना. You may have the body, you may have do the action with your for some of your senses. The senses may give you information. ये मच्छर यहाँ पे है, मारो. But then पांचवा पंचमम, that is the approval of the Lord. जब तक वो नहीं आता, you cannot even kill a mosquito. Please get this, understand this thing. What to talk about is, so every action there is an approval. So now here the topic of discussion will be, अगर कल मेरे घर पे कोई चोरी करता है तो उसमें भगवान की इच्छा है? If someone cheats me, someone fools me, is that the desire of the Lord or the approval of the Lord? So then what the karmi say, Bhagwan, तूने मेरे साथ अत्याचार किया. It stands correct, right? How do we understand that? Where is Samrat?
I'm here, Prabhuji.
हाँ, बोलिए प्रभु, थोड़ा ज्ञान दीजिए आप.
प्रभुजी, जो अपने जो कर रहे हैं, जो अपने साथ हो रहा है, वो अपने कर्मों का ही जो मतलब अकाउंट है जो सेटल हो रहा है. So it is not कि भगवान इसमें अपने मतलब जैसे जो कर्म के रिएक्शन में तो भगवान भी उससे नहीं छूटे हैं, मतलब जैसे आपने कई बार बताया कि जो भगवान ने दिखाया कि कर्म का रिएक्शन तो मिलने वाला ही है, तो भगवान के साथ भी हुआ है सब कर्म के रिएक्शंस, इसलिए भगवान बता रहे हैं कि जो अपन ने किया है तो उसका रिएक्शन तो मिलने वाला ही है।
You are having
बंधन से कोई दूर नहीं है।
you are having the Bhagavad Gita with you right now?
No, प्रभु जी।
No, okay. Who is having the Bhagavad Gita with them?
नहीं, आ गया प्रभु जी। I opened the
open 18.15 and read the translation.
18.15. एक सेकंड। Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors.
See, these 5 factors are so strong. What does this statement verse actually starts? Shariraha, Vak, Manobhihi. Sharir se, Vak means by speech and by mind. Just सोचना कि भाई इसका सत्यानाश हो जाए. कई बार लोग सोचते रहते हैं ना किसी का सत्यानाश हो जाए. ये सोच भी आप सकते हो only because these 5 factors are there. These powerful are these 5 factors. They decide each and every action. Today, one may say, "Nahi, Prabhuji, I was not planning to go for a marriage, but then I have now finally decided to go for the marriage." Some people come and tell me, I didn't come because I was not planning to go for marriage. So, मतलब आप marriage जाने का सोच से हो, मगर वो action complete कर पाते हो only and only when these 5 factors come in place at the same time. To understand this, I'll give you a small example. Suppose we are playing cricket. So what is the first thing we need to play for the cricket? First ingredients kya kya? Players, okay. Or
the willingness to play cricket, मतलब मन होना क्रिकेट खेलने का.
Okay.
Bad ball.
Playground, bad ball,
very good, right?
Place
everything I will explain everything with respect to this verse, don't worry. Verse number 14 ka tarah I will explain everything. Then aage.
Opposite players.
Opposite player, very good, perfect. और जगह चाहिए कि नहीं? जगह चाहिए कि नहीं आप लोगों को? जगह चाहिए ना? स्थानम. That is why I'm saying everything. If you see, if we want to play a cricket match, उसके लिए क्या क्या चीजें लगती है? अधिष्ठानम तथा कर्ता. Player चाहिए. अधिष्ठानम means the place or the environment is required. Stadium चाहिए या playground चाहिए, कुछ तो चाहिए आप. Then you need the players. Then karanam cha pathak vidam, your various desire. Here senses का मतलब यहाँ पे senses हुआ ना. If you see the word to word translation, then it means senses. So what type of senses? You want to win, आपको जीतने की इच्छा है, लालसा है, तो then the senses come into picture. Then vividascha pathak chetasaha, that is the various endeavor. Like आप suppose bowling कर रहे हो, तो you want to put the best ball so that you trick the fellow's wicket, and सामने वाला the best, he wants to hit the ball much harder as it will go to the boundary or going or out of the fence. Who is the Zoom user, by the way? Please introduce yourself. Hare Krishna. Who is the Zoom user? Please introduce yourself.
Should I remove him or?
Yeah, if he is not replying, because we have to know the person, no, who he is. Otherwise, remove it.
Anika.
And see that you enable waiting room. Sorry. We won the cricket match, right? So one is we need is players, we need this thing. So and the various endeavors. So you have to play make the endeavor to play. You can't say आज यार तू 100 रुपए ले ले मेरे तरफ से तू खेल ले. You will have to go and play the match if you want to play it yourself. You will have to put the bowling or you have to bat accordingly or field the ball. And last but not the least, what is the guarantee that you are going to hit this ball and the ball is going to go out of the fence or it is going for a sixer or a four? Or was there any guarantee? Can anyone tell? Both the bowler as well as the batsman. कोई दे सकता है क्या? कोई बोल सकता है हाँ पक्का मेरा बॉल हिट करेगा जाएगा? Is it possible? बोलो अपेक्षित, what do you think?
नहीं पॉसिबल नहीं है यानी प्रेडिक्ट करना
पॉसिबल नहीं है ना. लोग तो शेयर मार्केट में प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं. हाँ, लोग तो शेयर मार्केट में प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं, यहाँ पे एक प्रेडिक्ट किया ही नहीं कर सकते हैं. That's why it is said, you know, when someone kicks the football, there are n number of possibilities for the ball not to go inside the inside the goal box. It can hit the rim and bounce out. It can get deviated and go somewhere else, or it may get caught by the goalkeeper. Anything can happen. So that is where the Panchamam comes in the place. What is that? Daivam cha Chaivatra Panchamam. That is what his Lord is trying to say. Finally, मेरा approval है तो ही कर्म होता है, action होता है. But yes, you all mentioned one thing very important, the free will. Free will भगवान ने दिया है. तो ऐसा हुआ तो हर कोई व्यक्ति किसी को मतलब मन से श्राप देते रहेगा तो क्या सबको श्राप लग जाएगा क्या? नहीं लगेगा. So it is, you have to understand, to give shrap one has to have that high level of spirituality. So small levels he cannot achieve that higher vaka siddhis. They are called as vaka siddhis. So we have to understand that there are these 5 factors together. With them only, what happens? Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind or speech is caused by these 5 factors. So अगर आप कोई भी action कर रहे हो तो please समझ के चलना, these 5 factors are working on you, and that only it is possible to do this. Otherwise it is narrow. Therefore last verse he says, the 16th verse, therefore one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. So I've been trying to make you all explain or understand this, that कर्म फल त्यागना जरूरी है, मगर कर्म करते हैं. अच्छा, कर्म फल त्यागते हैं, मगर कर्म फल त्यागने के पीछे का कारण क्या है ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है. कर्म फल त्यागना जरूरी है क्योंकि नहीं तो उसका जो रिएक्शंस है, इष्टम अनिष्टम या मिश्रम, ये आपको भुगतना पड़ेगा. और व्यक्ति, अकलमंद व्यक्ति वही है जो इन चीजों को त्याग दे, जल्दी से छोड़ दे. Then only for him it is possible that he can be happy in this world also. What to talk about the next? In this world also, if you want to be happy, you will have to renounce all these, whatever attachments you have got, you have to be ready to renounce at any given moment of time. There is the example of the sadhu story I told you about, the sadhu who was going in the train. He was taking care of his belongings, but then he was ready to leave it at any given moment of time. That makes you a renounced person. Otherwise, what is the difference between a renounced person? It's not that you all have to wear a bhagwa kapda and bibi bacha sab chhod ke jungle mein baith ke. No, you don't have to be renounced that way. You can be staying in this material world, because finally you have to leave your body in this material world only. You cannot leave your body going to some jungle and staying alone like saying. In fact, going alone and staying alone in a jungle is most dangerous. Priya, explain why it is dangerous.
Because we don't have association, and if we are deviated from the path of devotion, then nobody is there to correct us.
That is the biggest problem. This is what happened with Jad Bharat Maharaj. What did he do? He went to the jungle, left his wife, child, everything, kingdom, everything. Then he went to the jungle, and what did he do? Fell in love with a deer. Deer ka bacha. And so much so that he became attracted to the deer. The next birth, he took a birth of a deer. The reason was he was not having association. He was not having a spiritual master to guide him over there. He gained all knowledge. He really reached the one of the epitome of devotion. He went up to the bhava stage. But what is the use? What is the use of that bhava stage? When one is not attached with association with devotees. That is why this is a very important factor. Please understand. Lord again emphasizes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again says, association is very important. A, B, C, D. If these four things are there, then only you can do devotion. Otherwise, you cannot do devotion. Any one missed out, you cannot. What is the ABCD of devotion? Who can explain? Come on, ABCD of devotion.
I can tell, Prabhuji.
Boliye na Prabhu.
A for association, B for books, C for chanting, and D for diet.
Diet matlab not
prasad.
That should be clarified. Otherwise, log bole, yes, I eat only salads. I only eat. No, I'm health conscious and all. Nahi, waisa diet nahi. Here, diet is very specific. Eat prasad. That is only these four things can save you. First is A, association. Association matters. We are not ready to leave friends. We are not ready to leave our society. अभी भी हम उनके साथ ही रहना चाहते हैं, उनके सामने ही हीरो बनना चाहते हैं. हर व्यक्ति एक एसोसिएशन में रहता है. Especially, if you are a member of some club or some group, you are attached to the group. Why? उस ग्रुप में मुझे हीरो बनना है. I have to be having a feather on my cap in front of those people. And that is why, just because of that simple attachment to that, it becomes the biggest stumbling block in your going into devotion service. Devotion service में अगर बढ़ना है, the first thing is we will have to cut off those engagements, those associations. Then only cutting off will not solve the problem. That is more dangerous. Because अकेले भूत की तरह बन के नहीं रह सकते हो आप लोग. ध्रुव महाराज नहीं हो. None of us are having the capacity like ध्रुव महाराज. अकेले जाके 6 महीना सिर्फ हवा खा के पत्ता खा के मैं भगवान को प्राप्त कर लूंगा. No, it's not possible. Association cut करोगे तो ही भगवान याद आता है. Can anyone give me an example of when you cut association, then only one remembers Lord? या association जब दूर होता है तभी भगवान याद आता है.
शमशान भूमि प्रभु जी.
Okay.
कभी जाते हैं तो
Okay, that's true. But स्मशान भूमि के बारे में अगर मैं आपको एक जोक बताऊं ना, एक बार शिवजी देख रहे थे, ऐसे घूम रहे थे, तो देखा एक शव को लेके जा रहे थे सब, और सब लोग क्या बोल रहे थे, राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है. तो शिवजी बोला, यार ये तो अपना पार्टी का आदमी है, सब राम नाम सत्य बोल रहे हैं, और शिवजी तो परम भक्त हैं रामचंद्र जी के. बोला राम नाम सत्य है, चलो अपने हम भी जाते हैं इनके सब. तो गए, स्मशान में पहुंच गए, तो बेटा और कुछ लोग लगे थे उधर लाश को जलाने में, बाकी लोग यहाँ दूर खड़े थे. अरे यार आज ही मरना था इसको, कितना बड़ा मीटिंग था, इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग था, छोड़ के आया मैं, क्या करूं, नहीं आऊंगा तो समाज में नाक कट जाएगी. वो समाज के डर से है, समाज के डर से, मरा हुआ व्यक्ति के डर से नहीं है, समाज के डर से है. भाई समाज में नाक कट जाएगी, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा तो. अच्छा तो ठीक. दूसरा, हाँ आज सोचा था बीबी बच्चों के साथ बाहर घूमने जाने का, पूरा प्लान चौपट हो गया आज. सो दिस इज हाउ द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड इज. एंड वहां पे शिव जी देख रहे थे, यार ये राम नाम सत्य बोल रहे थे और यहाँ पे आके तो कहानी कुछ और ही है. छोड़ो ये लोगों को, छोड़ो, लेट मी गो बैक, लेट मी गो एंड सी. तो देखा हाँ जो लास्ट था वो एकदम शांत था, कुछ नहीं कर रहा था, गड़बड़ बड़बड़ बड़बड़ कुछ नहीं। तो शिव जी बोले यार ये जगह सही है यार, यहाँ पे कम से कम यहाँ लोग आते हैं राम नाम सत्य बोलते हुए आते हैं, और कई जगह जाते नहीं राम नाम सत्य बोल के हुए, और जो लाश बचता है, जो जलता है, एकदम शांत रहता है, वो एकदम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन मटेरियल वर्ल्ड। इसके लिए आज भी कहते हैं कि शिव जी जो भस्म है, जले हुए लाश का भस्म, वो अपने शरीर पे लगाते हैं। हाँ, कम से कम उसने जिंदा नहीं था तब तो नहीं बोला राम नाम सत्य, मरने के बाद तो लोगों ने बोला इसके लिए राम नाम सत्य। चलो भाई तू मरते मरते कुछ काम तो अच्छा करके गया, चलो राख लगा लेता हूँ तेरे। ओके, एट व्हाट पॉइंट डू वी एक्चुअली गेट रियलाइजेशन? इसका कोई स्टोरी, कोई भागवत से, आई एम गिविंग एग्जांपल ऑल्सो, आई एम गिविंग ए क्लू। भागवत से कोई सी जब एसोसिएशन छूटता है तभी भगवान याद आता है। कम ऑन, come on, let me see how much you all have studied. Yes, Yadi Yamuna Priya Mataji, बोलिए। हाँ, समृद्ध प्रभु बोलिए।
प्रभु जी द्रौपदी का नहीं बोलेंगे ना? द्रौपदी का she was asking help from everyone, then last में she called for Lord.
द्रौपदी के केस में प्रभु जी, that when I will be taking about the Ajamil story, तब मैं समझाऊंगा कि how Ajamil also called for the Lord at the time of distress, at the time of death. And हम लोग भी इतना पुकारते हैं, कभी भगवान आते नहीं, आएंगे भी नहीं, क्योंकि हम अभी तक अटैच्ड हैं। अगर बाई चांस आ भी गए भगवान या विष्णुदूत आ गए, चलिए प्लेन आ गया है आपके लिए, आइए प्लेन में बैठेंगे, नहीं 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 नहीं, मेरा आज का काम बाकी है, मेरे बेटे का शादी बाकी है, बेटी का शादी बाकी है, ये सब कराना है, मैं नहीं आऊंगा, सो वी विल नॉट बी रेडी। सो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी, but that's understanding is totally different with respect to Draupadi. Yes.
प्रभु जी गजेंद्र मोक्ष.
Yes, that's a classic example of when association of unwanted people, when as long as he was, don't worry, we all are Gajendras. We are all like that elephant. I'm happy with the family and friends, and flashing ourselves in front of our family members and our samaj and all that stuff, busy flashing. And ये सब होने के बाद जब वो लोग ने सब तकलीफ में छोड़ के गए, इसके लिए तकलीफ आना अच्छी बात है। इवन कुंती महारानी says विपद संतुत शाश्वत तत्र तत्र जगत गुरु. Why does she say that? Because whenever there is vipada, that time we will remember Lord. और हम लोग तो, कुछ लोग तो इतने जड़ हैं कि विपद आने पे भगवान को गाली देंगे मगर भगवान को याद नहीं करेंगे। प्रॉब्लम आने पे भगवान को गाली देंगे बट भगवान को कभी याद नहीं करेंगे। That is the problem. So we have to understand that problems and problem will only, when the real problem is association. When this association gets detached from us, that time we will get attached to God. या उस वक्त भगवान की याद आने की संभावनाएं हैं। नहीं तो morning to night, if you are attached to only and only your friends, your relatives, your household people, it's very difficult. It's next to impossible. So in Gajendra's story, we clearly understand how he detached, and then immediately he didn't remember Lord. It took some time for him to remember Lord. So it takes time. Don't worry, if you all are feeling नहीं प्रभु जी हम लोग छोड़ ही देते हैं, आज ही छोड़ देते हैं, बाद में छोड़ने से अच्छा भी छोड़ देते हैं, नहीं नहीं, आपको छोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है। आप लोग बोलेंगे नहीं नहीं प्रभु जी गजेंद्र की तरह याद कर लेंगे, कोई जरूरत नहीं है। You can hold yourself for some more days and try to develop this detachment from this material world slowly. I am not asking you all to detach fully. कारण पूरा कार्य करना छोड़ना नहीं है हमको, बट कार्य का फल है, जो हमारे कर्म का जो फल है, वो भगवान को ऑफर करने की तैयार रहना। एज इट इज, ये फल आपको फायदेमंद नहीं है, ये आप लेके नहीं जा सकते हो, चाहे वो धन के रूप में हो या चाहे वो कर्म के रूप में हो, दोनों आप ऑफर करके छोड़ के जाएंगे तो इट विल बी easier and better for you. That doesn't mean that you all become penniless. No, I'm not saying from that point of view. The focus of earning money, the focus of wasting, see, money comes by karmas. किसका प्रारब्ध कर्म अच्छा है, कर्म पैसे अपने आप आते हैं। किसके प्रारब्ध कर्म पूरे हैं, उसके कितना भी मेहनत करे नहीं आते। एग्जाम्पल क्लियर कट, अनिल अंबानी एंड मुकेश अंबानी। Same son of two children of the same parent. But see, one fellow is growing and other fellow is not able to go. No special efforts. You mean to say other fellow does not take efforts? He is taking efforts. But that is all. The law of karma is working always. This way we understand that yes, we have to associate ourselves with devotees, detach ourselves with worldly minded people, and then be books. Read the Bhagavad Gita. Now we are busy nowadays. I feel during book distribution, people become active. Le bhai, tu pad, main kyun padhun? Le, tu pad. So we distribute the books so nicely. मुझे नहीं पढ़ना, अभी तू पढ़, किसी और के गले पे डाल दो. नहीं भाई, आप लोगों को भी पढ़ना है. You all also have to do. So books. See, chanting. Yes, chanting is must. You all should take up the holy name and chant the mantra. Then थोड़ा दिमाग में जाएगा. बुक्स में आप जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, एसोसिएशन क्यों करना है, ये सब आपको उसमें मालूम पड़ेगा. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, eating food offered to the Lord. And that is only possible when you take this matter seriously. Okay. With this, I think I'd like to conclude today's class. Any doubts, questions? Anybody has got, they can ask. Priya Singh Mataji, you can close the YouTube session.